In the quiet of the night,
I hear my story.
I hear my birth and my death.
I hear my story.
And I realize
It's not just my story. Dear girl,
you ask me what I wish for
I
you.
simply say
Never allow any soul to clip your wings. You were not born as an ember.
You were born in the flame.
Dear girl,
I wish I could hold you and say,
the world will protect you. But I know it will not.
and in some way, you too know it will not.
When a girl is born into a world,
Into this world where she has no control over her body,
she learns to live in a body that is not hers, but owned by the state.
she grows up to believe that obedience
Is her middle name. She learns to exist on the periphery of society.
as if growing a spine.
Is too much to ask for. You tell your daughter that she is being
Emotional, irrational.
while you tell your son that he is being.
strong, smart.
You are teaching your daughter to doubt her feelings, to question her beliefs.
While your son believes that every thought he has is fair and right. Be careful how you raise your daughters.
Be careful how you raise your sons.
When you teach your daughter
That her body is only pure.
untouched,
You are teaching her that she can be
ruined at the hand of a man.
Raise your daughter so that she knows that what's in between her thighs
Is
is
hers to own.
Raise your daughter so she knows her worth.
Doesn't feel shame in sharing her beauty.
Dear mother,
I know you are terrified of the world.
that could swallow me whole.
Society teaches us that in modern times, girls and women have equality.
Yet girls every day are sexualized and objectified and grow up worrying about their physical appearance and fearing that their body will be used and invaded.
In a study by Planned International, 69% of girls reported that they, in their daily lives, felt judged as a sexual object.
50% said that several times a week they heard sexual comments and jokes made about them.
Over 3/4 of girls said that they, once in a while,
Feel unsafe because of their gender.
I'm Callie Field.
And I am Tessa Murphy.
Made from assorted poems from the book Dear Girl by Aisha Rock, this is
The truth about being a girl. She does not report her rape.
Because neither did her
Her
mother.
grandmother, in fact, they did not call it rape.
They called it sex.
And sometimes love.
She does not report her rape
Because she has never been taught
that her body has
and
value.
her voice has worth.
Dear girl, you will be believed.
If not by Senate floors and investigators, we will hear you.
Dear girl, we will see you.
Dear girl, we will stand by you. Justice will not always
But
prevail,
we will continue to fight tooth and nail
so that our sisters and daughters will never be asked,
rather,
harassed, whether they wanted it, regretted it.
or just forgot.
Believe me, no one forgot.
It is time to make a choice.
To believe
To
survivors.
pay us all the same.
To give women of color equal access and opportunity. To protect the safety of trans girls every day.
Make the choice not to stay silent.
It will hurt.
But you will survive.
People always say the girls of this generation are so vain.
Why can't they put their brains towards books instead of good looks?
I used to blame girls too.
Be more than a perfect body and a pretty hairdo.
But then I stepped into the world.
And open my eyes
To the truth about being a girl.
I heard Kai say things like,
Dude, she was tighter than...
I want to pipe your sister someday.
Her ass looks like a racetrack with those stretch marks, but at least it's big like Kim K's.
I never grew up thinking of those things.
Don't blame me, but when I thought about boys, I thought about
dinner dates.
and soulmates.
Not fuckboys that look at you like shark bait.
Boys are given condoms in high school.
While girls are taught to live under a different set of rules.
Rules that encourage purity and modesty.
A monopoly on a woman's body. It breaks my heart for every girl growing up in this world.
Instead of,
how was your day?
we get,
You up?
wanna come fuck? I am not an object. I have a voice and something to say.
Do not assume that I belong in your bedroom. I belong in a conference room.
And for anyone that says the girls of this generation are so vain,
It's because we girls
are held under a microscope day
after day.
after day,
It's like beautiful doesn't even exist
unless you can cross everything off the checklist. Big butt, big boobs, skinny waist. Includes small nose, plump lips, bony hips. Hairless.
Careless.
Still has an awareness. In all fairness,
I want to be seen as beautiful too.
I mean, I don't want to be demeaned.
I mean, I'm stuck in between being a girl.
And a woman. I refuse to be ashamed of the fact that
That my body does bleed each month.
it is why we are all here, and for that,
I will not tuck my tampons into my sleeve as I scurry to the bathroom.
it really is no secret that we bleed.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Growing up, the world taught me that
That vulnerability should be a secret. Growing up in a world that taught me
To look sexy.
Get a degree.
Maybe a little rhinoplasty,
but
but
never disagree with misogyny.
I grew up believing that the hero of the story never showed signs of weakness.
I disguise my demons so there'd be no sign of
Struggle!
struggle.
I mean,
I am not the same girl I was at 15.
a world that has taught me that being a woman means living in fear that your basic health care might disappear,
That your paycheck will somehow be smaller than a man who does the same job.
that your boss will tell you to stop giving him eyes.
If you want a raise, you gotta compromise. Show me what lies above those thighs.
Boy, please, the moments you misidentified everything you forgot that 100 years ago?
I could not vote.
Look at what happened.
When you try to demote the very
that
bodies,
gave birth to you, please.
we are used to it all and we are appalled.
But you see, we don't know what it's like to be free.
I'm sorry that the world has taught you that beauty is white and thin.
I'm sorry that the world has taught you that your thighs are not supposed to kiss as if they were lovers' lips.
That your hair should be waxed or clipped.
As if your body were someone else's lawn.
I know that if this world harms you,
Attempts to break you.
you will rise, broken and bruised.
This world is no match. When you are lost, look back at the woman you came from.
For they were warriors and their path will guide you to yours.
What should every girl know? You are not some puppet in a puppet show.
Expose the double standards, the hypocrisy, the hate.
It is never too late. This is the moment of girls taking the reins. I once believed I could never let go of my demons. And now I live with them,
Live with them.
visiting them when I want, but
But
only when I want.
You might believe the words you speak are weak,
But the echoes of words can start revolutions.
revolutions.
No good revolution came from safety and security.
Revolution begins when you leap into the unknown and shout from the rooftop.
It is time's up.
It is me too.
It is everyone from me to you who has spoken.
Words stayed silent but strong.
Dear sisters, we don't exist in silos.
Our experience is of each other.
This is for everyone who has lived according to the male gaze.
Who has been slut-shamed?
Who has been trained to fear the dark alleyways.
Who has been taught that?
No!
Not a complete sentence.
That it's in the male DNA. That accountability is just getting carried away.
That boys will be boys, even when they know the difference.
This is for all of the women. Do not shrink into that corner.
Do not cover your body in shame.
Do not silence your woman voice in a revolution that has only just begun.
This is a letter for every woman
Who knows better than the scarlet letter?
White women, show up for your sisters of color.
Straight women, show up for your LGBTQ plus sisters. Women, show up.
We have the power in our hands, and we will not sit back
And nod and smile.
while certain people reconcile the rules of being fertile.
Sorry, but it's my body, baby.
We will not stop until we hold our rights,
For every woman of color,
size,
shape,
sexual identity,
and place in this world, and that is the truth about being a girl. Thank you.